Hello everyone and welcome. It's Simon here from the Whales of Wall Street. Today, very quick one on XRP, Ripple Net. Now, these guys have seen, like the rest of the market, to be honest, a good bit of growth in the last week or so. In fact, I would actually say since this V shape here, which I've mentioned on a couple of videos recently, across the board on various crypto assets, we've seen this similar pattern. And we've seen this similar drive across others as well. So there's no doubt, obviously, there's a bit of market trend here going on organically. However, I think from certainly the last 2-3 days, we've seen a element of perhaps a bit of FOMO, but more importantly, some extra news coming in very recently in the last couple of days about a partnership between South Korea and Thailand as well. So these two bringing their commercial banks and leading banks together using the RippleNet project here to do so. So I think actually joint venture between Ripple and SBI Holdings, so SBI absolutely gigantic over in the Asian market. But here we go. So Ripple recalled, so it's about the GME remittance. This is absolutely phenomenal. There is mention here about how many citizens or Thai citizens are within South Korea as well. So not only does it benefit the people who are already in those countries, from migration, etc., or whatever. This is also catering for these two markets individually as well. So it's absolutely phenomenal in terms of the size of the market and the opportunity here. But we've seen, very significant growth off the back of this as well, which we'll go on to in a second. But I just wanted to bring this to your attention. This is quite interesting because a couple of people in our little crypto chat that we have, we're always asking about the bear market and things next year, but or coming up certainly, and there's always a bit of a question mark as to whether we will go into a full bear market or not, or because of the adoptions becoming bigger and bigger, whether we even see this big drop that everyone's anticipating. And I do think you will in a lot of the projects, but I think the ones that will survive or continue to have progression are the ones with fundamental back end project and functionality, Ripple being one of those. And I think it's very, very important to mention this, that we are sitting, or did sit, just over the $1 mark on a couple of occasions in the last 2 days. Again, we'll go into that in a bit more detail in a second. But I'm more interested in the fact that this is still under suppression with the SEC lawsuit over in the US. And it's showing you that means nothing. And when that lawsuit ends, whether it's good or bad outcome for Ripple, whether they pay the fine or win the case, they're going to see unbelievable numbers going through. And like I said, I will do a video in a couple of days' time comparing that to something called the KIN token, or the KIN crypto asset, which is very similar situation with the SEC that it has now in terms of being a security or not. And what happened with the KIN token at that period of time when they actually lost and had to pay a fine, but the growth was unbelievable within a 48-hour period. So we will go into a bit more detail. It's a bit of a fun video, that one. It's really interesting to look at. But back to this chart here. So we have tested over that dollar mark on 2 separate occasions. I thought we were going to go and test the 110 support line, but that's okay. We've done a bit of a dive back down and we're floating just underneath. So I'm very interested to see if we can hold above the 87 golden number here and over the 90. Hopefully we'll see a bit of a tail off here and a bit of steadiness. We might start going to test that 120. That's next on the fib line for me as a target. And of course, we're not quite near that sort of 195 mark that we saw back in April and May. But we will get there. I know it for sure. Of course, Ripple is a powerhouse and suppressed gem. So this is really good news here. Obviously, a bit of a tail off with the last 3 days of volume. And just to reiterate on this point as well, I'll just move that down so you could see it properly. In terms of these volumes and everything you see on the right hand side, so just a bit of detail on that. So the market cap for Ripple has risen, I think, around 14%. So it's over $46 billion, which is absolutely gigantic. And we see from the trading volume over the last 24 hours or so, we've surged pretty much around sort of 90+%, which is, again, phenomenal. I think we're on 96% at the moment. So you're seeing to well over $9 billion in that aspect for the market and I think in general, I haven't checked recently, but I think last time I checked, we were quite around sort of 2.5% of the market dominance. So Ripple's right up there in regards to an absolute powerhouse in the crypto sphere. But yeah, I do expect hopefully a bit of resurgence here in terms of stability around this dollar mark, testing and trying to find that support line as the dollar. If we do that, I can see us pushing towards the 120. But what I'll do in the next video when we talk about the KIN token in relation to this one, I'll also go through what we anticipate as a price prediction for XRP in 2021 as well into 2022. I do think 2022 will be a big year for a lot of the projects out there that are very much involved with interoperability and CBDCs and all of this bridging between banks, etc. I don't consider them to have to go through a bear market. I consider them almost approaching that level, kind of like with the stock market, where you don't have that big fluctuation. It's more developed around what their practicality is in the real world. So we'll see. But we've had, I think, near enough 30% surge since the beginning of August, which is absolutely phenomenal. And hopefully this continues. I love XRP. I love what it is. I love the team at Ripple. And yeah, let's hope it keeps going. So other than that, guys, I hope you found this relatively informative. Please do like, subscribe, really helps the channel out. Check out our other videos as well. We are surging towards the 400 subscribers now, so really do appreciate your support. And please do leave comments below. Are you invested in Ripple? What are you excited about with the XRP token? And do you have a price prediction to throw out there? We'll chuck out a few of them as mentions in our next video as well. So do get involved in that. So other than that, guys, like I said, I hope you've enjoyed the video. We'll see you in the next one, and we'll see you on the moon. Goodbye.